So we're going to change the rocker cover gasket and rocker cover and all the seals. It came with all new bolts. Tools you're going to need is a couple of torque wrenches. The reason I've got two is one you need to get 56 Newton meters and the other one you only need to go as high as 10. So the 56 Newton meter torque wrench doesn't actually go as low as 10 Newton meters, and so I've had to get another torque wrench that goes as low as 10. And then you need a E20, like a spline socket, to take the bars off, a 10mm socket with an extender, an 8mm socket with an extender, a couple of screwdrivers, and a magnetic reach tool if you can get hold of one. There's a possibility you could drop a bolt in the engine bay. It's really difficult to get out with your hand. This will help a lot. And so coming up to the engine bay, you need to take the engine cover off. It's just a couple of pins that stick up here and here and here and here. And then there are two pipes, one at the back. You hear a hiss, that means it's working. And that one out. So just put this at the side. The next thing that needs to come off is these little tag things. You pull that up and it just slides out. A lot of people like to undo these. It's not necessary. You can literally slide it on and slide it off, just undoing this clip here. And the same with the other side. And then this needs to come off. And then you've got a bolt here, bolts underneath here, and a bolt over this side. They all need to be undone. They're a E20 spline socket. Get your little mini screwdriver, and you want to poke in there and just get that plastic cover off. And the same, try not to damage it like me, but they're quite robust. And then you want lefty loosey, righty tighty, and this is quite hard. The extender on it makes it easier. You're just undoing them, because then with the extension you can use it like a screwdriver. Take the socket off. I'll just come out. All this needs to come off so you can get to these two screws here. If this plastic thing wasn't here, you probably wouldn't have to do that. But BMW don't really make things easy, and getting to the back of this engine is extremely difficult. You just take these 4 bolts out, and then these bars just slide out each side. Try to keep it together. They do fit like that when they're underneath there, and they're quite easy to line up. But if you one, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, and this one's on the other side, so just try not to drop them, because if you do, I mean, I've got the under tray off on this, so the reason I had the under tray off was to find the oil leak. I actually found the oil leak, and yeah, it was the rocker cover that was leaking. So this pipe here, you need to just keep out of the way. This unclips from here. Move that. Make sure it's out of the way, because you don't want it to get in the way of things. So this now unplugs from here, and you can slide that out. And if you just lay it like that, you don't have to undo all this plastic clip thing. So there's all your... now the most important thing is trying to get to these screws without being obstructed. If you just push that back and push that up, this sort of keeps it out of the way. You don't have to keep moving it. So we're going to make some room now. So ideally you need all of these clips off, because this is going. The easiest way to do it is to just a screwdriver underneath, and it just pushes off. Don't try and pull it. They're designed not to be pulled. If you just slide them off, it makes it so much easier. You need this one off as well, because you've actually got a bolt right underneath here. So to get to it, you need to be able to move all this. And if you just do what I said, slide it off. You just need to like get it under here and release it. It's just a metal grabber in there, and if you sort of release it from there. So we've got all the things off. These camshaft sensors here, the new rocker cover has come with the seals for those, so I'll be replacing those seals as well. Obviously the car's done 100,000 miles, so rubber seals are going to perish over time. So next job is coil pack out. It's easy enough. You just pull up like that, and these little plugs just come out. And you just need to keep them to the side. Try and keep them out of the way. These are connected down here to the bolt that attaches the rocker cover to the head of the engine. So that's why we need the magnet bit as well. But I'll come to that part later, because it's quite fiddly. So all that's off. And then you just put in the coil packs, try and keep them in the same order. And you just pull up lip tray. They're quite easy. And then if you keep them in order, you can put them back in that order. Also check around the bottom for oil and stuff, and you know that it's not leaking inside there as well. 10mm bolts out here and here, and move the camshaft sensors to the back. Make sure you've got it on lefty loosey, righty tighty. But yeah, so the leak was a really difficult oil leak to find. If you are leaking, if it is leaking oil and you can smell the burning inside the cabin while you're driving or stationary, then it's probably a oil leak onto the engine. So there's your camshafts, sensors, put them to the back, try not to lose them. And then you just need everything out of the way. Everything out of the way to get to these bolts. And these bolts are opened in a sequence. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, I think. There is a guide on, but they have to be open that way and closed that way. And I think the torque settings is 10 Newton meters. Also, getting the actual cover off is a nightmare with all this plastic here. But if you can get a screwdriver down here and lever it that way when you're pulling it up, it should come off with ease. Also, this pipe, take this pipe off, you've got to squeeze it and it just pulls like that. And then we can get a screwdriver underneath, and there you go. And that pulls off. These can become really brittle. You can replace these. They're about 15 quid. Yeah, like for like. But they do become brittle when the engine gets hot, and they will snap. So that's everything off. All we need to do now is release all the bolts. Got a 10mm socket, and we're going to start with 1. We'll start on doing that. So that's loose. Now we need to go to 2, which is down here. But that, like I said, has got the earth for the coil pack attached to it. So we need to take a little 8mm bolt off first. And I'll try and show you what I mean. So down there, you can see it, there is an 8mm bolt on top of the 10mm that's holding all the brown earth wires on. You can see that. I'm undoing that at the minute. So just turn it. While you're turning it, just keep an eye on it. It doesn't come out the top. When it gets close to the top, you can use your magnetic on top of it, and you can just turn it, and it should have enough leverage to undo it. Yeah, it's coming. And then you just take it off like that. And that's your bolt. Don't try and do it without one of these, because if it falls down there, this is your engine management computer and all your wiring, and it'll all have to come off to get down there to try and get this out. So keep that somewhere safe. Then we need to do number 2. You need to take, you need to screwdriver, just to lever the top and it off like that. And that's all it is. And that's what that bolt's holding on to the top of the bolt that's holding the rocker cover in. So, and it's just the earth wires. So just tuck that out of the way. So the other thing you can do is you go down to the bottom, lever that away, and this should come up to give you a bit more room. That's it. So you just need to pull that out of the way so you can get to that bolt. Push this up here so you can get to this bolt. Just make sure you can get to them all first. And then number 2, you just loosen them. Just loosen them. You can undo them all later. They have to be undone in this order. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, the leaky one, and 11. Don't try and do this without the extender. It's just not going to be possible. And then you just undoing them all as far as they'll go. The reason I do it like this, because they don't actually come out. You can pull them out, but the gasket is holding them in. So you're just feeling for when it's actually out, because the screw doesn't pull out. But you can feel when it's out. It's got that thing. It wouldn't move like that if it wasn't out. And if you do it by hand like this, you've got more of a feel if when they're out. And they all have to be out. Make sure they're out, because you'll be pulling, and that was out. 3. For this one, if you get your magnet on top of it, then you can feel that that's out. And do the same with number 4 as well. And it is time consuming and tedious, but it's something that needs to be done. It just makes things easier later on. Yeah. So 4, 5. Six. I will either put a link in the description or a picture on the video of which screws to open first in the sequence when you're first undoing it. This bit doesn't really matter. I'll just try and keep to this because, yeah. And then where was I? 9. Because then it'll help when you're doing it back up to memorise the way you're undoing. It sounds like it's done. Just double check that. Yeah. And then my no, that's not done. You know when it's done because you can lift it. That's done. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Says all the bolts are loose now. So this should be a simple, as we've done all the work that we needed to do, a lift up. You have got 4 metal tubes protect the well, they earth the coil pack, so they're quite vital. So now we just give it a wiggle. There you go, that. And it's come off quite easy, probably because it's leaking oil. They don't normally come off this easy, trust me. Okay. So that's undone. That's undone. Okay. We get the screwdriver here. Push that. It's going to be fiddly. It's quite a fiddly job to get up, and you will get things that will get in your way. You just need to look out from. There you go. There you go. That's it off. Cool. So while you're in here, you can check the timing belt. That seems fine. And just look at the oil condition. and the engine, and it looks all good. I'm happy with that. Next step is just to clean up all around here, around where the coil packs go in. I can see there's no oil inside the spark plugs. So next step, I'm going to wash up and I'm going to put the 4 coil pack tube into the new one. It's an easy job just to transfer them over. Clean this up. So you just want to rag across there. And just wipe all this up. Literally, you don't need to use sandpaper, you don't need to use anything. This is got to stay as it was. You're just getting down there. Apologies to the wife for using her tea towel, but needs must. There we go. Lovely. Okay. Don't want any water to leak off of the car into the engine, so the other thing you need to check inside is, I don't know if you can see that, this part here. The rubber seal for where the 3 and 4 screw goes. There's 2 of them and they're seated. I'll show you when I've cleaned up the so you look in there, you see the little shiny bit. So that's where the gaskets go for the 3 and 4 screws. You just need to make sure that they're not still in there when you try and put the new gasket on, or the new rocker cover, or whatever you're doing, because you could use this to replace your rocker cover or the rocker cover gasket, but just make sure that them 2 are out. So this is a new rocker, and if yours doesn't come with these metal cylinders, I'll just show you how to replace one of them. I've already done the other 3. So you're pushing it in like that, and it goes down, and then clips into place, like so. You replace all 4 from the old one. For some reason this didn't come with it, but and then we're going to replace. I'm going to put it on without, so we make sure we've got all the screws are in. I've checked the gasket, it's in place. Make sure that these are in place, and you've got everything. Because the last thing you want to do is put it on and you're missing something. So double check, triple check if you have to. Make sure it's the right rocker cover before you even take the old one off. I've already had that problem. I ordered the wrong one. For some reason the pipe was on this end. I don't know. So, right, we're all cleaned up and it's ready to go back on. So, nice and gentle, just move in the thing that way. Make sure that pipe here doesn't get trapped anywhere. Make sure this pipe's out of the way. Make sure you've got nothing in the way of any of this. Oh, and if you haven't noticed, I've unclipped this part as well, just here. And then is what you're doing. You just slowly, there's no rush, manoeuvring it on. Okay. 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 Right, so that's it in place. Now lining up all the screws to make sure it's seated right, that you've got all the pipes out of the way. You still need to replace the rubbers on the camshaft sensors. So, small screwdriver. Can't get it in. Yeah, that's well and truly no good. Yeah, give it a clean up before we put the new ones in. And then you want to a little dab of oil around each one. Hope you can see this, and I'm not filming the back of my head. You just need to get. I did see a second-hand rocker cover gasket on eBay with these camshaft sensors attached to it for like 30 quid or something. So if you needed camshaft sensors as well, it'd be ideal. But yeah, so I'll put the new seals on. So I've got a little bit of oil. Where can I sit that so you can see what I'm doing? Maybe just on there. And then you've got your seals. Just drop them in the oil. One, it makes them easier to go on, and two, it stops them kinking. A bit of oil. This is engine oil, by the way, not yeah. It's a bugger. I don't want to stretch it either. I got it. There you go. Perfect. And it's not going to leak. And I can plonk in there. It's well worth doing because, well, as far as I'm not even sure if it was one of these leaking or the cover gasket or what, but definitely worth replacing all of them. And then they fit in there. I mean, there you go. It's not going to kink, is it? I'll talk all these up later. These are 8.5 Newton meters of torque. Luckily, my torque wrench goes down to 8.5, just I think. And then you want to start getting all your screws in place first. Just making sure that they're in the hole. Because it's not on properly, you won't be able to screw them in. And as all new things, sometimes stuff doesn't fit. This seems to be a good fit, he says, with dread and fear. There you go. Yeah. Okay. So you want to start with one. You're just doing them up. We're not talking them up yet. We're just doing them up just to make sure they're all seated properly and the rocker cover's on properly in the right position. Three. Just hand tight or not, just like you would with a, not tighten them up. We'll do that with a torque wrench after, but we're doing it in order. So we're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. And then we're going to torque them down to 10 Newton meters. We're going to do these at 8.5 and these at 10. I just need to make sure we get an even press on the gasket. And they seem to be all seated right. Just don't over tighten them. Don't get your Newton meters and pounds per square inch mixed up either. That's an easy mistake. Newton meters, not pounds per square inch. If you do it pounds per square inch, you will share the bolts and you'll be looking for another, well, you'll have spare bolts, but then you'll be trying to get the flipping rest of the screw out of the head. Because they're actually designed so that you can't tighten them in too much to crack the gasket, the rocker cover, sorry. So yeah, like I said, tighten them up by hand, nice and gentle, nothing major. And then yeah, there's a lot of, so now we're going to do them 10 Newton meters. So I've got it set at 10 Newton meters. Now I'm going to just, now all the bolts are actually in. Screw them in until I get a click. There you go. Okay, that's two. I don't think I've screwed that down enough. Or maybe I have. Five. And six. Seven. 8. 9. Just 10. 11. Just hand tight them. This is a bit of a leaner. 11. 12. And then you need to change torque setting to 8.5 to 8. So you're looking between the 8 and the 9, and then you do not want to they're in. Perfect. Yeah, nice seal on that. Okay. So you're checking all these are seated right. Oh yeah, things are in. So you need the earthing on now. So these wires need to be tucked down here again. Okay. So what you do, this bit here, ideally goes over the top like that. I'll show you in there. So now it's over the top, just there. Then we're going to put our little bolt on top, and I couldn't find any torque settings for it. So I'm just going to do it up hand tight because it's only holding. So I've got my trusty magnetic thing. I'll put it on here and then start turning. And once it catches, you'll be able to remove the magnet and the bolt will stay there. And then I'll get my 8mm, screw this on. It's not going anywhere. The screw's so long. If you wanted to, you could torque it up, give it a turn on the. Don't do any more than that. Literally, do not tighten that up too much. And then you've got your things. Seat in there, and that seat's in there, ready for the coil packs. You can then reattach all your plastic piping. Okay, where all that goes. So you need that on there, and this can go back here. I hope you can see what I'm doing. I'm just reattaching all the plastic bits here, here, here. This one reattached. Then we've torqued up all the bolts. If you torque yourself through it, then you won't forget anything. You've made sure that this pipe is still, you were able to get hold of it, and this pipe that go into the top, into the engine cover. Also, don't forget this pipe that goes from the PVC valve, and then your coil packs need to go back in. Your coils need to go in. So that's our next job. We'll put the coils in next. And we'll put them in the order we took them out. So you need to make sure they're seated right, and this stays up until you plug this in. And then once it's in position, you get number 3. Number 4. This should be difficult. This should not be difficult. I mean, God knows what a mechanic will charge you for this. But trust me when I say this can go wrong. It can go wrong. Part numbers, make sure you've got the right part number. I can't really advise you on your part number. You literally need to get it off the engine cover because they're all different. I thought this would be the same as any other car, but it's not. They're all different. So you plug in these back in now. You just make sure it can't go on any other way. The yellow dot will be at the top, and then once it's in, once you pushed it in, you clip that down, and that's it in position. This should clip into here. It won't because I broke the clips, but it's not an issue. That goes in there. That goes in there. Just make sure this clips in. That's that. And it goes down. So that's your coils in. Everything else is attached. Just making sure before you start putting everything, the brace back on and everything. All these have been done. We know that. Well, I know because I've just checked on the video to make sure I did it all and I didn't miss anything. Okay, I'm happy. So the next stage is this goes back. So this pipe is a pain in the and you just need to make sure you don't lose that. It just comes out of this vacuum pump here and it sits here. It goes into the back of the thing. It causes all sorts of problems. If you don't put that on, you will get something called drivetrain error. But hopefully you'll have watched that video and realised that. So that's seated correct. Need to poke all this back on. Okay. Put that down. Plug that back in there. That's all in place now. So you're putting the 7 screws back in now. With 10mm socket. But I couldn't find any torque settings or anything for these. I don't think there are. You just make sure it's seated right, and you don't lose any of these really fiddly bolts. Down engine. Hopefully you've got your magnet. I'm going to tighten these up once they're all in. I just wanted to make sure I've got all in place and the it's fitted properly. But you can see it's seated right because of the old dust marks from the screws. And then I'm just going to give them a half a turn with the wrench. Righty-tighty. Yeah. Literally half a turn, if that, just to tight. I couldn't find any torque settings for that part. So next thing is your bars. You go in here. Fit on there. I don't know if you can see that. You probably won't. You see this side. Go in here and they join together. You can replace these bolts, but for 56 Newton meters, it's not really. It's not really. I mean, if you're doing 200, yeah, the bolts might get a bit damaged, but not on 56. I mean, I can do it hand tight at 56. It's not that tight. Be careful. Don't go too far and smash your window screen. Okay. So we've got them hand tight. 56 Newton meters. Yeah. And then half a turn, but it says half a turn, but you're not going to half a turn it. Why would you want to? Well, it doesn't need it. 56 is enough. Anyway, we cut that bit out. Everything's back on. And this needs to sit. Don't forget your pipe. It needs to sit. Yeah. Okay. That just slides back into that slot. Uses that. And just make sure it's pushed right in and it's clicked. And then these go over. It's just a weather seal. It's seated right. You're good. And then this goes in here like this. Okay. No need to use flipping 10mm things to. It goes in there like that, under and over. It slides in here and clicks in place. And just make sure this weather seal is up like this, all the way over, just to there, because we're going to put the other piece in now. Same again on here. In there. You're getting it under and over on this little clip here. That's slid in. Then clip it in. no undoing these. They unclip, pull. It's easy. Look in that. Need the pipe on. It's the wrong way. So you make sure the long bit goes in here and the shorter bit into there. If you have it that way, it won't fit. Thank God I didn't clip it in. Okay. There you go. Clips in. Perfect. Okay. All done. Don't lose that pipe. I'm warning you. Don't lose that pipe. So you need these two white markers here. This one goes in there. And that goes in there. It doesn't really fit, but there you go. And then that will go on the side of the, and that will go on the back. Yeah, just give you a wipe over. And then it goes on that way. So you need that pipe in there. This pipe. This pipe. And goes in the back, and it is fiddly. Just make sure it's all seated right. And that pipe. Make sure that pipe is in the back and this pipe is in the side. And this is all pressed down. Your pipe's on. Put it on your tools. Just do a double check that all the tools you had at the start, you still have at the end. I hope this has helped. And you're going to be able to do either the gasket or the whole cover itself. Yeah, as you can see, it wasn't a massive job. It can be difficult if you don't do the steps and don't. Now you just need to, take it for a drive, basically. You're probably going to have still some oil burning smell if you've had a leak. That'll go away in time. It's not going to happen straight away. So if you have enjoyed this video and you've learned something from it, please put a comment in and say, whether I did something wrong, or I'm sure some people might find fault. But if you like the video, like and subscribe and follow the channel. I'll do more videos. This car's done 100,000 miles now, so I'm sure there's more jobs coming around the corner. I think the next one will be the seals on this turbo, because I think, and I'm not sure, but I have got a leak from one of those seals in the coolant. it's not too bad, but yeah, look forward to the next video, which will probably be that. It's they're famous for it, apparently, these turbos. They've got a seal inside and they can start to leak, but I can see coolants down here, so that's the next job. Anyway, thanks for watching. Cheers, bye.